We often hear about the success stories of entrepreneurs and businesses that have made it big, but what about the ones that failed? The truth is, failure is an inevitable part of any journey towards success, and in the world of business, it's no different. But what separates the successful from the unsuccessful is the ability to learn from past mistakes and turn setbacks into opportunities. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into some of the biggest business failures in history and explore the valuable lessons that we can learn from them. From misguided strategies to poor leadership and market disruptions, we'll uncover the reasons behind these failures and reveal the key takeaways that can help you avoid making the same mistakes. So, whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned business owner, or simply curious about the inner workings of the business world, join me as we explore the biggest business failures and what we can learn from them. Let's start with Blockbuster. Blockbuster was once the dominant player in the video rental industry, with thousands of stores around the world. However, Blockbuster failed to adapt to the rise of streaming services like Netflix, and as a result, the company eventually filed for bankruptcy in 2010. From a technical standpoint, Blockbuster failed to anticipate the changing needs of its customers and the rapid pace of technological innovation. They also failed to pivot their business model in a timely manner, instead sticking with their brick-and-mortar stores long after they had become outdated. Another iconic company that failed to adapt to changing times was Kodak. Kodak was once the leader in the photography industry, but the company failed to embrace the digital revolution and shift its focus to digital cameras. Instead, Kodak continued to prioritize its traditional film-based products, leading to a decline in market share and ultimately, bankruptcy in 2012. From a technical standpoint, Kodak failed to recognize the potential of digital photography and the opportunities it presented. They also failed to invest in research and development to stay ahead of the curve, leaving them behind when digital photography became the norm. Nokia was once the dominant player in the mobile phone industry, with its products considered the gold standard for reliability and innovation. However, Nokia failed to keep up with the rise of the smartphone and eventually lost its market share to competitors like Apple and Samsung. From a technical standpoint, Nokia failed to recognize the potential of the smartphone early on and was slow to adopt new technologies and features that became standard in the industry. They also failed to prioritize user experience and design, leading to a decline in customer satisfaction. Moving on to the energy industry, we have Enron, a company that was once one of the largest energy trading companies in the world. However, Enron's fraudulent accounting practices and unethical behavior eventually led to its downfall. From a technical standpoint, Enron failed to implement proper financial controls and reporting procedures, leading to widespread fraud and corruption within the company. They also failed to prioritize transparency and accountability, leading to a loss of trust from investors and customers alike. Another company that failed due to unethical practices and a lack of accountability was Lehman Brothers, a financial services firm that was once one of the largest investment banks in the world. However, Lehman Brothers were heavily involved in the subprime mortgage market, and its risky investment practices eventually led to the financial crisis of 2008. From a technical standpoint, Lehman Brothers failed to properly assess the risks associated with subprime mortgages and other high-risk investments. They also failed to implement proper risk management procedures, leading to significant losses and ultimately, bankruptcy. Sears was once the largest retailer in the United States, with thousands of stores across the country. However, the company failed to adapt to the rise of e-commerce and online shopping and eventually filed for bankruptcy in 2018. From a technical standpoint, Sears failed to anticipate the changing needs of its customers and the shift to online shopping. They also failed to invest in their digital infrastructure and e-commerce capabilities, leading to a decline in sales and customer loyalty. MySpace was once the dominant social networking platform but failed to keep up with the rise of Facebook, which ultimately led to its downfall. From a technical standpoint, MySpace failed to prioritize user experience and design, leading to a cluttered and confusing interface that turned off users. They also failed to adapt to the changing social media landscape, failing to implement new features and functionalities that became popular with users. Toys R Us was once the largest toy retailer in the world, but the company failed to adapt to the rise of e-commerce and online shopping. From a technical standpoint, Toys R Us failed to invest in its digital infrastructure and e-commerce capabilities, leading to a decline in sales and customer loyalty. They also failed to anticipate the changing needs of their customers, failing to offer the convenience and personalization that online shopping provides. Yahoo was once a dominant player in the early days of the internet, but the company failed to keep up with the rise of Google and other search engines. From a technical standpoint, Yahoo failed to prioritize user experience and design, leading to a cluttered and confusing interface that turned off users. They also failed to anticipate the changing needs of their customers, failing to offer new features and functionalities that became popular with users. BlackBerry was once a dominant player in the smartphone market, but the company failed to keep up with the rise of touchscreen phones and the app ecosystem. From a technical standpoint, BlackBerry failed to prioritize innovation and the development of new features and functionalities that were becoming increasingly popular with users. They also failed to adapt to the changing needs of their customers, such as the demand for larger screens and access to a wider range of apps. One common theme among the examples of business failures we discussed is the lack of customer-centric focus. Companies that fail often do so because they lose sight of their customers' needs and fail to provide the value and experiences that their customers are looking for. This can be attributed to a lack of transparency and communication, as well as a focus on the short-term financial gain at the expense of long-term success. Additionally, we often see a pattern of leadership egotism and resistance to change. Companies that become too complacent or stuck in their ways are often unable to adapt to changing market conditions and technological advancements, ultimately leading to their demise. It's important for leaders to stay humble, listen to their customers and employees, and prioritize innovation and development to stay competitive in their respective industries. By focusing on customer-centric service, transparency, and a willingness to adapt, companies can avoid the pitfalls that have led to the downfall of so many others. In conclusion, the failures of these businesses serve as important lessons for us all. By understanding their mistakes and learning from them, we can avoid making the same errors in our own ventures. So if you found this video informative and valuable, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more thought-provoking content on business and entrepreneurship. And don't forget to share this video with anyone you think might benefit from it. Engagement in the comments section is an essential part of building a thriving community around our shared interests. By sharing your thoughts, insights, and questions in the comments section, you help to create a dynamic dialogue that enriches the conversation and creates new opportunities for learning and growth. So I encourage you to join the conversation by leaving a comment below. Let me know what you thought about the examples we discussed and share any additional insights or perspectives that you have on the topic of business failures. Your engagement and participation not only help to build a stronger community around this channel, but also create new opportunities for us all to learn from one another and grow together. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to reading your comments. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to continuing to explore these important topics with you in the future.